Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Deep for You. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe and click the bell icon so you can get updates. As in previous videos, I have discussed some important questions for embedded systems. So today I will answer them and I will also show you solutions for those questions. So let's start. So first question was, what is a preprocessor in a C? So a preprocessor is a program code that is processed before the compilation process, and with the preprocessor you can instruct your compiler which piece of code you want to include and which piece of code you want to exclude from the compilation process. So we use a hash symbol to define a preprocessor. Here you can see this flow diagram. This is a normal C program, and when you write a C program, it checks for the preprocessor, and if there is a no preprocessor, then it just compiles and it generates the object code, and then linker will link those object code, and at the end you will get an executable program. And if there are some preprocessors, then the code is processed according to these preprocessors, and then it is object code are generated, and then linker will link those object codes, and then you will get an executable program. There are different types of preprocessor. First is a macro. With a macro you can define a constant and it will have a name and a value. There are file inclusion preprocessor. With these preprocessors you can include some file in your program. And there are some conditional compilation preprocessor. With these preprocessor you can include some code in your program or exclude some code from your program. So here are examples of the conditional compilers, and there are other directives which are the operating system dependent. So for example, this line, it is for Windows, and this is an Apple, then Win32, Win64. So with these preprocessor you can check which window you are using and which operating system you are working on. So I show you an example program. Here is the first preprocessor. You can see it is a file inclusion preprocessor. Then there is another preprocessor which defines a constant, and another preprocessor that is defining a function which will calculate the square of a number. Similarly, there is a conditional preprocessor. So if there is a print with loop defined, then this piece of code will be executed. Otherwise, code which is showing as a dark, it will be compiled. And here is the output of the program, and you can also see the line. So this will tell you which line number of the program it is. And similarly, I opened a studio.h file, so you can see there are many preprocessors in this file. So what is a static in C? A variable can be declared as a static, and when a variable is declared as a static, then it will be only accessible in a specific file. If a static is declared within a function, then it will reserve its previous values even the function is left. And similarly, you can also define a function as a static, and when a function is declared as a static, then it is private to that file where it is defined. It is not accessible outside that file. So let's have an example of the static. So here you can see I have a module increment module.h and increment module.c. So here I have a function increment static by 2. So this function is only accessible in this file. And similarly, there is a static variable, and this is only accessible within this file. You cannot access these in other module like in main.c. So similarly, this static, so s counter, it will maintain its value even the function is left. So I execute this program. So let's see. So this is the output. So you can see that each time I call this increment by 2, it is incrementing the value of counter by 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. And this is the loop which is printing these values. So next question is, what is extern in C? So a function can be declared as extern, or a variable can be declared as an extern. And when a variable is declared as an extern, then you can have a multiple declaration of that variable, and it will increase the visibility of the variable within the modules. And you can have a different declaration, but the definition will be only done once. So let's have an example. So here I have a variable called extern variable, and similarly I have a function print variable. So this is defined in this module. So definition module, and I can access this value inside the main. So here you can see it is also here, but the only definition is done only once. So when I execute this program, so it will print the value of this external variable, and it will also call the print variable. So here you can see the output of the program. So next question is, what is union in C? A union is a user defined data type, and it can store data of different types, and it is defined like a struct in C, and the memory allocated to a union will be equal to the biggest variable in that union. Let's have an example. So here I have a union named person, and it has int, float and a char. I have used this union in my program, and I have generated an object called Johnson, and I have assigned a value of 45 to int, and then 172.0 to a float, and then I have copied a string called Robert Johnson to the name, and this is the output of the program. And here you can see that only the name is correctly written, and age and height has very strange values. This is because the memory assigned to this union is equal to 20 bytes. So you can see that this has only 20 bytes, and it stores the name correctly, and other two data types are overwritten by this name. So you can use the union correctly by assigning value to each data type once. So you can see that I have copied the object Robert Johnson to the name, then I printed it, and then I have assigned a value of 45 to age, and similarly I have assigned a value of 172 to the height, and you can see that now it has printed the correct values for each data type. So this is the way how you can use the union correctly. Yeah, you cannot assign each data type memory at once. So that was all for today, and this session will continue in the next video. I hope this was very helpful for you, and thank you very much, and see you next time.